Good evening, I'm Kofi Mensah and this is chale.news. Tonight, the Supreme Court unlocks 5 frozen corruption trials, including one against a former finance minister. Ghana's DC embassy ran a shadow fee racket for 6 years and pocketed nearly $20 million. 3 young Ghanaians are dead after a Galamsey pit swallowed them whole. And the Black Stars still have no coach, but somehow are hosting 2 AFCON tournaments. Stay with me. The OSP is back. The Supreme Court today restored the Office of the Special Prosecutor's full prosecution powers, and 5 high-profile corruption cases, frozen since April, are now live again. Among them, a trial against former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. For 4 months, a High Court ruling had the OSP's hands tied. That ends now. Here's what else the OSP has been up to, quietly. It secretly fed evidence to the FBI that helped convict Asante Berko, the former Tema oil refinery boss, in a Brooklyn courtroom on August 6th. The US Department of Justice formally acknowledged Accra's significant assistance. Berko faces up to 30 years, Ghana's anti-corruption office scoring a conviction on American soil. Let that sink in. How this one is infuriating. A forensic audit has revealed that Ghana's Washington, D.C. embassy ran a hidden parallel fee system for 6 years, quietly collecting nearly $19.4 million in charges the government never approved. Some diaspora Ghanaians paid everything, including postage, and never got their passports. The Auditor General has named officials and wants full recovery. Full breakdown on chale.news. President Mahama has named Dr. Zanetor Agyeman-Rawlings and Mahama Ayariga as minister designates. The first cabinet reshuffle since January. They're replacing the 2 ministers killed in last August's military helicopter crash. Both nominations still need parliamentary approval. 3 young people are dead. 2 women and a man, all between 21 and 25, were buried alive when an illegal Galamsey pit collapsed at Odumase Santenso in Ashanti on Friday. The state backhoe sent to help broke down on arrival. Residents dug out the bodies by hand. No arrests, no investigation announced. This keeps happening, and nobody's being held to account. Ghana's cocoa law just got its first overhaul in 40 years, and some of what's in there is alarming. The new COCOBOD Act contains clauses that could make it a criminal offence for farmers to change how they use their own land without ministerial approval. 800,000 cocoa farmers had no meaningful say. The bill was laid before Parliament on July 28th and passed within the same week. President Mahama has not yet signed or rejected it. On the money side, the mid-year budget looked fine on paper. Total spending unchanged, but quietly, 5 billion cedis was moved away from roads, schools and hospitals into something called GANRAP, a reserve accumulation fund. Economist Dr. Denison Safoa says even the IMF's own reports make that trade-off very hard to defend. The Bank of Ghana is holding its 14% policy rate, and Governor Dr. Johnson Asiama says don't expect cuts anytime soon. The Hormuz closure is pushing fuel prices up, the cedi is exposed, and the energy sector deficit is still sitting at $1.1 billion. Reserves are better, but the BOG isn't taking chances. The BECE dispute is escalating. 2 major private school bodies, GNACOPS and GNAPS, have jointly petitioned the Ministry of Education to appoint an independent reviewer for the 2026 results, cutting WAEC out entirely. They say the scores don't reflect students' actual school year performance, and this has been recurring for years. SHS placements for 620,000 candidates are due August 31st. Government hasn't responded. Meanwhile, at KNUST, the strike is deepening. University teachers, UTAG, have sharply rejected striking administrators' claims that pay gaps amount to discrimination, calling it simplistic and emotionally charged. IT offices, accounting, the hospital is still shut. Neither management nor government has stepped in. Teachers posted to Ghana's most remote communities are done waiting. PRETAG has set an end-of-August strike deadline over the government's continued failure to pay the 20% deprived area allowance. They already gave the government a July extension. The president says there won't be another. New data from the Ghana AIDS Commission. HIV-positive men are transmitting the virus to women at more than 3 times the rate women pass it to men. The index, 9.7% male to female versus just under 3% the other way. Officials say interventions must now target men directly. No specific program has been announced yet. Ghana lost 965 mothers in childbirth last year. Forensic pathologist Professor Paul Osei-Sampene says over 40% of those deaths were hypertension-related, conditions that show up at routine antenatal visits. Detectable, preventable. No government response has been announced. Full story at chale.news. The Ada Traditional Council has formally summoned NDC leadership, including President Mahama, after party officials staged a grand durbar and Thanksgiving service during the Asafo Tufiami festival, in direct defiance of a cancellation order from the paramount chief. The local MP, the DCE, and the NDC constituency chairman are all required to appear before the council. No response as of tonight. Ghana is now confirmed to host the U20 AFCON in February 2027 and co-host the Senior AFCON that June. 2 major tournaments in 1 year. Questions about stadium readiness are real, and the GFA still hasn't named a Black Stars head coach, with September qualifiers approaching. We're hosting everyone. We just don't have anyone leading the team. That's your evening digest. A lot happened today, some of it hopeful, some of it deeply concerning. Everything we covered is up with full reporting at chale.news. I'm Kofi Mensah. Stay informed.